So I was finally able to get my hands on the Xbox Series X. I got the Xbox Series X from Walmart last week, and finally getting to touch the new controller. And yeah, I like it. It's really comfortable. It doesn't feel super different from the last gen Xbox One controller, but there are some noticeable differences that really make it feel really good in the hand. And yeah, it's really nice to hold on to. Um, One of the things that you'll notice about the new controller is the grip. I don't know if you can. It doesn't show up on camera, but the grip pattern on this controller, I don't know what it is, but holy crap, it feels so good. It feels really good in your hand. I hope it doesn't like how certain times like over time the grip starts to wear out and starts to become smooth. I hope that doesn't happen. It probably will, but I mean, if right now it feels really good. I really like the grip. Um, Another thing is that I didn't think that I would like is this D-pad, but wow, this D-pad is, I mean, it's really nice. One of the things that is interesting is every direction, like it has like this kind of defined click. Even the diagonals, even though like the diagonal is really just you pressing down both left and down at the same time, but I mean it's like it feels like you hit diagonal, like it's very definitive, and just the way what your thumb rests in the middle of it, like it's really comfortable. I mean, I remember looking at the Series X's controller and seeing the D-pad and thinking, "Wow, that looks stupid," but it's really nice, and like it's not like the Xbox One had a bad D-pad. Like I felt like the Xbox One's D-pad was really good, especially like improvement over the Xbox 360. I remember the 360 controller's D-pad was not great. Let's just be serious. It was not great. I couldn't stand it, honestly. So when I got the Xbox One and I finally got a hand on the D-pad, I was like, wow, this is good. They fixed it. They totally they listened to the criticisms and they fixed it. But yeah, the D-pad on the new controller is just, I mean, it's really good. Um, I guess there's a size difference between both the controllers. Like this one's, like I don't know what the numbers are. Maybe like I guess 10% smaller, 20% smaller. I don't know, but I mean I can't feel the difference. I definitely like bigger controllers versus small controllers, but this isn't like it's not a size difference that is like obviously noticeable to me. Like I didn't feel smaller. Um, yeah, for the most part, it really feels the exact same as the current gen Xbox controller. It just has better materials. Like the current gen Xbox controllers are really smooth. There is no grip on the current gen controllers at all. Whereas on this next gen controller, it's grippy and the grip is really nice and it feels good. They also have a grip pattern on um they also have a grip pattern on the triggers as well. Let me see if I can get that on here. There's like it's not like more of like a texture. You really can't see it on this camera, but yeah, it's like a texture on the triggers as well, and it feels pretty good. It's not. I mean, it's not revolutionary or anything, but yeah, it feels pretty awesome. The LB and RB feel pretty good. They're not like this high like the Xbox One controller, like the has this kind of like high glossy plastic, whereas they switch to more of a matte finish on the new controller, and I feel like it feels better. Like it feels more grippy. As a result, it's not as slick as the old one was. So yeah, I mean overall, I definitely feel like the new controller is not a huge improvement, but it's definitely a big enough of an improvement where it feels really good. I really don't know where Microsoft goes from here if they ever decide to change the controller again. I feel like they pretty much knocked it out of the park. I mean, I definitely think they should add some of the features that Sony has added from the DualSense. Like, I didn't think that I was gonna like the new triggers on the DualSense, the adaptive trigger, and it depends on the game. Some games the implementation is bad and it feels mushy, but there are some games where it really does, like it affects the game in a way that it feels significant and it actually feels good, especially when you're playing a shooter. Depending on the shooter game, like right now I'm playing Hitman 3, and when firing your gun on the game, you can't just like push in the trigger easy like you normally would in any shooting game. It feels like firing an actual gun where you have the actual like you have the click before you fully depress the trigger and actually fire off the weapon, and that feels really good. It feels really good, real accurate, and I like it a lot. Also, obviously, like the haptics are great. Like I think definitely traditional. Like there's nothing wrong with traditional like vibration motors, but if you can put haptics in a controller, then I think you should do it. Like 100%, they should totally put haptics in this. And I think like, I mean, if anything, right? If they even if they don't adopt the adaptive triggers, like they should totally come out with a version of the controllers that have haptics in it, just to add that extra level of immersion, because the haptics feel really good. I like haptics a lot. I do like the impulse triggers that Microsoft has with the vibrations in the trigger, but a lot of games don't take advantage of it, which is a disappointment. Like it would be really useful. I mean, it gives an extra sense of feedback that it really feels like that feedback is really good. So yeah, definitely would like to see more use of that. But yeah, in terms of the new controller, I like it. Obviously, I love this red color. Like man, I love red. Red's always been my favorite color. And yes, this Pulse Red is. I mean, as good as it looks on camera is how good it looks in real life. Like it is red. I wasn't feeling the white back at first, right? The clash of red and white, but it's growing on me. It's not bad. I like it. Obviously, this is my Gears of War, my Gears of War 4 limited edition controller, and this one's seen a lot of action. Thumbsticks are pretty worn. Thumbstick rubbers are worn down, but yeah, really liking that new controller, that new Xbox Series X controller. So yeah.